everybody. Hey, Roxy. Hey, the dude.
The dude.
Hey, Noah. Hey, Marga. I didn't see Marga before. Hey, Ravi. Liliana. Hello, Liliana. I didn't see you before. Hey, Kate. Nice to have you. Galactic. Oh, that's Sabrina. And hey, Mrs. I didn't see Mrs. before. So we have lots of new people. And
we have, starting at the end, Sandy.
Hi, everybody. Hi there.
Barbara.
Hi, everybody.
Francine. Yes, I knew that. Francine.
And James.
And Max. Welcome, everybody. And welcome, everybody out there, too.
So what do we do now? I guess my Halloween was important. I guess it has a big metaphysical meaning. I wonder if anybody can comment on what is happening on Halloween, and if it is. I mean, some religions and cultures reject it strongly. Like I guess in Russia, it makes a big divide between people who are for good and people who are like can play with dark. So here it's kind of comes natural. It's just a children's holiday, right? But it is also sort of paying respect to negativity, to duality. So I just want to invite opinions on that. My another invitation would be conception. I'm kind of fascinated by metaphysics of conception. What is happening? What energies participate? Is sex, duality, male, female? They come together and make a vortex and create something. So I wonder what happens on the other side. On this side, we know it really well, but what happens on the other side is a mystery for us. So if anybody can comment on that, and then invite other invitations on topics.
Very good.
I can help you out with the first one. Halloween.
Is Halloween international, first of all?
Halloween.
It's
a lot to do with Lemmuria.
I didn't hear that.
All of Lemmuria. That's where it goes. Hallows Day.
Yes. So today is All Souls Day. Is that correct?
Yeah. Another. Let's say remix of it again. Yes.
Yes. This is the positive part of the negative. So it goes All Hallows Day and then All Souls Day, I think.
And Hallows is what?
I don't know.
Okay.
They're all stories.
Huh?
It's all a story.
Yeah,
attached to the day.
But they attach a lot of energy to it. So because if you attach the energy to it, then it has it.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
But it's all a story. Whatever you want to believe.
Yeah.
So Sandy says it's all story. If you don't believe it, it doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Okay. Any more invitations?
You're quiet today.
All right.
I have an invitation.
Yes.
Kenjin. He hasn't been here for a while.
Kenjin. King of Erra.
Also, so before the question of why somebody is speaking. Hello. Yeah, when Jim will be channeling, please mute your microphones. Some of you I can mute manually, but some of them I can't. Some of you I can mute. So
it's okay.
No, if you don't mute your microphone, the recording is messed up, and the quality of the sound is messed up. So when Jim's speaking, mute your microphones.
Yes, and if you don't mute it, unfortunately, I will have to. So please make sure you do.
But some people I just cannot mute myself because something prevents me from muting, like the ones which are on the cell phone. So press this mute button, and when you speak, press unmute button. We use question and answer application, so people have now 8 viewers outside. There are chickens there. Can you see them now?
Oh, cute.
All right, so question and answer application. So people who view us outside, click this QA application. You can ask questions, and people inside, please navigate them and read them aloud when appropriate. Right? And here, the new people, there is that chat thingy here. So in the chat, please form your waiting line. When somebody comes through, if you have a question to this entity, just say, I have a question, so you form a waiting line when you know who comes through. We don't know who comes through. I think that's all. Welcome everybody. I'm very happy today. So, and I wish yesterday was my happiest Halloween. Yeah.
Oh,
because
good.
I painted my face and I participated actually.
Oh, you did?
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, do you have pictures?
I will.
Can we let your chickens
He said he
come in?
painted.
They want to come in.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
visitors.
the chickens are right outside the door, and they're looking in. They always do this when we're here.
Really?
They do. Yeah. When I'm here and the screen is open, they always come right to the window. Max went to get his pictures of Halloween. He painted his face. I want to see this. I want to see that he painted his face.
So we found someone.
I thought that was cute.
Yeah, we were doing trick or treating and just on some door it was a wonderful sign and it made us happy and the owner gave us as a gift this sign, so now you can enjoy it.
Eat locals.
And the owner gave
Yeah.
Max.
Eat locals.
So within the darkness there was a sense of humor and actually kindness, right?
That was
Yes.
nice. That was
Yes,
very
it was
nice.
nice.
Oh yeah, well, it is a giving holiday, candy and all sorts.
Yeah, it's a given holiday. Yeah.
A give and take holiday.
More of a demanding. Hey, better give
Right.
me candy.
So you give or else you get toilet papered. Or they soap your windows. That's what used to happen.
But we were working with dogs, and people were giving candies. And I asked several people, and our dogs also wanted these candies. So I asked them, "Can you give us dog cookies?" And no one was flexible enough to give something to the dogs. Even the dog owners, they weren't programmed to do that.
They weren't programmed to feed the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy. Just throw
I
a
have
water.
biscuits in my car, so I'm
Biscuits.
programmed.
You would be.
I'm programmed
flexible,
to feed dogs.
yeah. But I mean, that was just a test. I just wondered what will happen.
What did they say? We don't have anything.
I cannot think of anything. People have whole fridge of food and they can think of anything that dogs eat.
Interesting. Okay.
Ready to leave?
All right. Did anybody else want to give any suggestions or invitations to anybody to come?
The other question I was talking about with Hyan, and it was about finding out who the second civilization to land will be.
The second, I didn't get that. What?
The second civilization to land.
Oh, okay.
The first one is the Yahyel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Can you repeat it?
She wanted to know after the Yahyel, what alien species will be second to land?
All right. For those who don't know, Yahyel are
The first.
our friendly species of gray hybrids. They look like grays.
Spell that, the word.
Yahyel. Y-A.
Hyel.
All right. We did it.
Okay.
Yahyel.
So it comes from Bashar and other channelers, and we speak to them. This Do and Pentim are our contacts at the Yahyel civilization. They're friendly, kind, very technical, very, I would say, organized,
Yes, organized.
analytic, mental. They're very mental. But they're not the ones that are scary Zetas. They are friends, and they're scheduled to be, they're elected by other aliens to be the ones to do the first contact, and they are proud of that mission. And so the question is, who is next after them?
Yes.
And also, we want to update on status of whatever is happening with the contact.
With the colonies?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
contact and the colonies.
Okay. All right, I'll do some meditation. I'll see you everybody later.
That's going to distract me.
Bye, Jim.
Bye.
Lakash was also requested.
I am Kenjin.
Kenjin, welcome. It's an honor to be in your presence.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome all. Are there any questions for me? But first, let me tell you something. I am not sure if you're aware that there was some sabotage at Colony 1. Was anybody aware of that?
Not a recent one.
Yes.
Yes.
A Zeta Gray, who they have captured, but have also left go, had damaged some of the circuitry and intricate work that was part of the site-to-site traveling. Obviously, there was a mission to stop that because they thought it was too much of an interference with Earth on its own. They did not want or believe that Earth should have that opportunity. However, they are fixing the machine and the technology. It's more than a machine, actually. But it's now at about 85%. But it has dropped from the 97 or 98% that it was, unfortunately. But there was that problem. I know some of you are aware of it because in a few private sessions it came out. But that is all that I have to say for Colony 1. But if there's any questions for me about Erra, I will be more than happy to answer them.
Marga asks, when did it happen, the sabotage?
About a week and a half ago.
Any other updates?
There are no other updates. Our colonies are working fine, but we are not given permission to use them as much because they have to be guarded and they're not as safe as the ones that the Alliance has. They have much more protection. Do you understand that? So we have to be very careful. But we are using ours as well.
Are you participating with the planning of the open contact?
I am part of that conference because that conference is not just part of the Alliance. That conference is open to many. So I am there.
Do you have any updates on that, on the contact, open contact?
I am not allowed to speak about that. Only the Alliance will have that information to share. I do know about it, but we let them have that protocol,
yes.
that opportunity to speak to you, because they want to use specific wording, and that is of their benefit.
How is the situation on Erra? I heard there was a civil war.
It is calming down now. It could possibly flare back up again, but it is only on one side of the planet, and it's not even the whole side. It's about two countries now. They're on two different continents, though, but it is two large countries that are at war. But it started as a civil war, and the reason why it became an international war is because some of the prejudice that was involved, oh yes, there's still prejudice, included this other place, and it became a little bit more than a skirmish, whatever the word is that you use.
Skirmish is right. Yes, thank you. I invited Pleiadians from Erra to speak. In addition to you, I invited someone chatty who can speak freely on many topics.
Yes.
And so far, nobody is coming. Can you invite more people to come? Females, chatty, not officials, but have some sort of clearance who can openly speak on.
Well, you have to understand, Pleiadians have gone through many different parts of a ritual within the last few years and are just now starting to be able to speak again. So that is why you didn't hear anything with them, from them, I should say. Didn't hear anything from them is because they were in a silent period for a while, and then before that they were in an open period, but before that they were in a different period altogether. So you would have to understand Pleiadian custom and ritual to understand why they haven't come. But at this point they would be able to come if you asked them. That period of silence has ended. So, and they're in an open period right now. The next closed period will come in your February time, in that particular time.
Wonderful. That is wonderful. Can you also pass the invitation to hybrids, Earthen hybrids from your culture to speak to us? That would be very interesting to speak.
Yes, and they're another interesting kind of people. They sort of keep to themselves. They are happy within their own groups. They are very connected, and they are trying to bring people into their thought patterns because it is slightly different. Because now the human side of the culture of the hybrids has become almost dominant. So it is a change from Erran culture to change from Erran understanding, and so they're bringing us in slowly because their way of understanding things is quite different, and their culture is different, and their beliefs are different, and it is a matter of a cultural bridge. So the beliefs are similar, actually, but the culture is different on how to act about the beliefs. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. So we will really welcome them. Also, I appreciate your ability to speak about some issues which others cannot speak. You're strong, you're entitled to speak freely. And can you discuss Earth politics and especially economy? Is economy going up at the moment?
Your Earth economy I don't pay much attention to because it means nothing to me. But I can tell you this, we do get news of your economy and finances and things of that nature, and it is moving as it should be. It goes up, it goes down, it does things that our economy does not do, because ours is stabilized and yours is actually not. Yours is not a stable economy. It is a economy in flux. Yes. So yes, so we see it and go, oh, it'll change eventually. It has to. So we know that you struggled with it, and your entire planet struggles with economies in its own ways. Some of your more wealthy, this is a more wealthy of the what are they, countries? Yes, this is a more wealthy country, and so you don't struggle with it nearly as much as some of the less wealthy countries. And even still, there's much struggle. There used to be less. It's becoming more and more in this country. The very wealthy are getting wealthier, and the very poor are getting poorer. And it seems that this is a part of your history that repeats itself.
Also, we heard that different alien races have influence on different countries and leaders of the countries.
Yes.
And there are controversial messages. Who is in control in Russia? Is Putin expelling the aliens, or aliens are in control of Putin and things around it. Can you comment on this? Is any change in power in terms of influences of aliens on human powers?
Well, there is, yes. And they're trying to cause a war. That is their goal, because then that economy will get greater. You would have to understand the parameters of where they are coming from to understand that war makes things greater in a country because there's more production and things of that nature that goes on. However, the place where the war will be, the economy will become less.
Of course.
So it is a trade-off. But where they are finding things that they would like to experiment with, and this would be to help that economy and that power. So, yes, there's some earthly influences and many things from ancient history that are still affecting parts of the world. So it's an understanding of priorities with the reptilians that are working with the Russian leaders.
Thank you. To clarify a little, a lot, I guess. Yeah, we want to know everything, but obviously you can't tell.
Oh, it's. I can't even comment on it because I find it disheartening that they allowed the reptilians to do this. They are upset with Girk Fitneer because they're interfering, but you see, the humans have actually invited the reptilians, whereas Girk Fitneer has not been invited. Do you understand?
Yes, we invite them.
But yes, I mean the governments.
Yes,
we're talking governments.
Yes.
The government invited the reptilians, and so therefore they are welcome. Whereas Girk Fitneer, others frown upon because they have not been invited, and that yet they are still helping.
Right. All right. So we have tons of questions, and if you have questions, you're welcome to ask.
Yes.
I just want to clarify where Girk Fitneer is. What area are they?
It's a Pleiadian alliance, pretty much. It's there's 5 species: Yahyel, Arcturian, Lyran, Pleiadian, and the friendly reptiles, which they do not give the name of their. They do not want to use the name of their species in the alliance, but yet they are connected with us in true form. So, or connected with Girk Fitneer in true form. I am connected with Girk Fitneer only as an outside representative. As a king, I cannot be in a part of alliance, but I can rule my planet and become a council member at Girk Fitneer. So I do consider myself part, but not legally.
Yes. Any more? All right. I invite questions from the audience.
Did that answer?
Hello, old man.
I think I lost track.
Hey, Kenjin. How are you?
I am fine. How are you?
Well, I'm a little sick, but that's okay.
Oh, I am sorry. Someone will send you energy, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, pretty sure. I've been overhearing from certain entities, even though I've shut off my abilities for a while, that you have a message for me. And is this correct or is it incorrect?
Yes, but it has to come at the right time.
The right time?
I have messages for about 4 humans, but they have to come at the right time, and the time has not come yet. But you will know. I will speak to you when that time comes. In fact, I will let this being know when your time is, and I will get in contact with you by way of your viewer televisions that you can see each other on. It's called Skype, I've been told.
Okay, so should I add Jim then?
Yes.
Okay. All right. It seemed really important. I have a lot of...
Yes, it is important, but it has to be received at the right time.
Okay. Thank you.
You have to be ready for it, or else it will mean nothing to you. Or it will mean there will be no action connected to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And also, physical trip that I was on, was that just a one-time experience for me, or like was it a demo kind of?
No, it was actually an experience. It was not a demo. But do you remember a lot of it?
Yeah, there was like this tournament thing going on, and then there was this entity that I was speaking to, and it was speaking a different language, and I was speaking the same language as it was, and it was really odd. It was like a tiki head or something. It was really interesting.
It was, I think that was an they called them Autobots. That was not a creature, but an actual robotic creature that you spoke to. And the reason why you spoke to that particular Autobot is that because they had a message for you, and that was fine. So there are some robotic creatures out here, cybernetic, whatever you want to call them. There are some of those out here. And so, therefore, one was sent to you, yes, or he brought you to himself, which is that's fine. They are not unimportant. They do carry very important messages at times.
Mm-hmm. And also, you're interested in the elementals that live with me. Am I correct?
Yes.
Why?
The elementals that live with you are only Earth elementals. Do you understand that? Elementals are made for each planet. Oh. And each planet is slightly different. So your elementals are different than any other planets. In order for an elemental to get to a different planet, they must pass from your planet, and their energy must be reborn at a different planet. So that is important for you to know, that they are specifically for your planet, and that they become very, very protective.
Oh, okay. Have you met Toad yet?
Toad, I am aware of your elementals, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗧 and such. So I understand. Yes.
If you meet Toad, then brace yourself, because he's kind of nuts, so yeah. Just want to warn you now.
Actually, you may picture him as nuts, but would that be insane? Is that what that means? And not having sanity? But he's actually brilliant.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is brilliant. He's really smart, and it's kind of funny.
He's actually brilliant, and some of his actions are because of brilliance. Because he's aware of many different things at once on your planet. He can sense energies very clearly and distinctly. So in that sense, yeah, that gives him an odd sense about him. Yes, he's very nuts, as you would say. So he is actually very intelligent and very intuitive to everything that's going on around him, which makes him a little flighty and weird. So
yeah.
Yes, I understand.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, yeah. And the elves of Erra, what is going on with the elves and the reptilians? Are they finally like okay with each other? Or
the elves and the reptilians are fine with each other at this point. They often, and this is periodically, because of tradition and things of that nature on Erra are different than other places in the universe, they often come to a disagreement on how to do specific things within their realm, and then when they come to these patterns in the culture and in the religious cycles, they do not speak to each other for several of your, let's say, Earth months, and therefore that is when they seem to be arguing or at a discord. But they're actually, and they actually do not speak to each other and are very rude to each other, in fact. But it's out of unbelievably, it's out of their unconditional love for each other in their little family units, and then whenever that is over, they come back into alignment and everything is fine again.
Yeah. Catherine and Kristalla seem to be pretty harsh about them, so it's kind of funny. They seem like a married couple, like both of the species, in a sense.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's funny.
But you see, some species project their love through the possession of their own. What it is this. Let me try to explain it. They love each other so much that they have to protect each other with anger, so that they do not become involved in a personal relationship. Does that make sense to you?
It makes a lot of sense, actually.
So they must be nasty to one another to keep the sexual tension away. And believe me, there is tension between those two cultures. I don't understand it really, but there is. So what it is, I'm not sure. But that is the way of the universe, and sometimes we just do not understand it.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, they are mad at each other constantly to keep each other away from each other.
Thank you for that. Thank you. It was nice talking to you. I'll add Jim on Skype.
Yes, please do that, because one day you will get a message that I need to speak to you.
Okay. I will be waiting until then, my friend.
Very good. It is nice to visit here. I have not visited Earth for a while.
Welcome.
So it's been very busy. Thank you. But I am very interested in your planet, except I have to maintain my duties on my world, and I am very busy. Have been very busy in the last few months. So it has been a time of great movement within our culture in many ways. Yes. So with different cultural things and religious things. So I become part of that as well. So.
Can you tell us about the structure of your government?
Well, I'm a king, so that tells you something.
How many kings are you?
I am the king of Erra. There is only one king.
Hail.
Hey, oh. Yes. You amuse me. But anyway, they do not do that there. They don't even bow. I may be king, but they can come to me on a personal level. So it is a different kind of kingdom than what you are used to on your planet. I may have the title and the benefits of a king. However, I can speak to everyone equally and without looking down upon them or them looking up to me, because my role is to be part of them, but yet to lead them in places where they may not have an idea of where to move.
Were you elected?
No, I was not elected. Not really. I was put in place by Arcturian governments in the way past. The Arcturians actually saw our demise and fixed it. Do you understand?
Yes.
And that they helped us a lot. So that was about 1,100 of your years ago. And they put, I am not the first king, but they put me in charge after the last king. What they do is they find, it's similar to how they find a Buddha. They go around and do you understand how they find Buddhas? Is that the child that recognizes certain things and such the like. It is that way in the Erran culture. The Arcturians will find the child that most is activated by positive energy and has a high intellect. And therefore they train that child because they see that the old king is getting old. And the new king sees that there is a new child coming. And within several years, the training is complete. And the old king, we do not get rid of them or anything like that. But if they lose their faculties or whatever, which is very rare on our planet, then the new king is there to be with the old king, not to replace him yet, but to help him. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I was a helpmate for the old king, and he taught me many things. And I think this is a very wise way to do it, to bring me in while he's still alive and has many of his faculties, and learn from his experiences as being a king. And therefore, that's where I learned many of the very small, intricate details of kingship that are not able to be taught other than by experience. So, does that answer your question?
How is your monarchy different from our monarchy or from our presidency? Do you have departments, ministers, civil service, that sort of thing?
There are departments, but they are not set up the same way as your departments. Your departments are set up with a leader and then people underneath and underneath and underneath. Ours are set up as 8, depending on how big the department is, can be 8 to 10 people that sit as equals and discuss, somewhat like your Senate and Congress and things of that nature. They pick 8 to 10 wise people to discuss the problems of each of these different facets, instead of corporations are set up the same, and they report to the king the same way as you would say your environmental people would, and the same as everything is the same but different, a different category but the same organization, because we find that when you have equals sitting together, much more can be accomplished than from a head going down there, down here, going down. Yes, it works, but do you realize what the detachment from the top to the bottom is? The detachment is incredible. No one down here understands anything that the president has to do, and no one up here understands what's going on down here, except that the work's getting done. So these conferences can be very large. They can, but they're all equal, and that is the point. And they all come to, well, not all, but many of them do voting to decide, and they're usually not a yes or no vote, but a yes, no, or let's discuss it more vote. So in that way, you find out where the heads of all these wonderful people are, and how to move forward from that moment until there's a 90% agreement. Nothing is accomplished. 90% have to agree.
So, are there any elections to these groups and committees?
There are, in some ways. The community actually is involved in selecting who they would like to use. Each small city, town, or county will put someone up for that, for a position in a particular area. And then once every 5 semesters of time in your planet, they would elect one of these several people, or maybe more, to go there too, if that is growing, if that particular thing is growing. Now, if it's staying the same, there will be no election, of course. The amount of people will stay there. But if there is a growth in that area, such as agriculture or whatever, then they will add people because it must correlate with the size of the project.
If people want to remove leadership, what are their procedures I got?
They come to me. They come to me and they give their reasons. And usually it's not just one person, because one person coming to me giving their reasons is me believing that it's only one person that has a problem. Several have to come to me at once.
What's the biggest challenge that you face in your society?
Actually, the biggest challenge is to keep everyone moving forward and not being stagnant. Because it's easy when you get the hang of it to stay the same. Change is difficult. And so change is our most difficult thing as well. Change is inevitable, but change is hard sometimes. Not always easy. Sometimes change is easy, but on our planet, as well as every other planet in the galaxy that I know, that change can be very difficult. If there is someone that is getting too old for a job or a position in the corporation, and we have to tell them that they're moving out or whatever, that can be difficult. It can be difficult. And there are many, many things that about change that are difficult. But it is necessary. And I will eventually be changed out, and that will be difficult for me because I am used to being where I am and doing what I'm doing and being what is the word? Productive. I'm used to being productive. And so when you're not productive anymore, it's like, eh. But the thing is, yes, someone will come and I will teach them.
Yeah, go ahead.
How big is the planet you're talking about?
It's probably 2 times the size of Earth. So.
And you're the king of the whole planet?
Yes, I am. And that may seem like a daunting task. However, in the way that it's run, it is not as hard as being a king of a small country on your planet.
What are your immigration laws?
There is no immigration. We're all connected. But there is no need for immigration because everyone is welcome everywhere. However, in the dueling countries that are having their little mishaps, which is now lower than it was, still, who wants to go there at this time? Nobody really. So they're not having immigration problems there. However, we are having a lot of people come from those places to here. Some of them are just visiting temporarily until that gets established that it's not a problem anymore. But it is nice to welcome people from other places, and yes, we'll always find room, and that is not a problem, because the way our society is set up is very, they bring along their job, they bring along their positions, they bring along everything that they have, and they're the same. There's no space problems because we can always move up or out or whatever. But their positions come with them.
Do you have slavery, or have you had slavery?
No slavery, but maybe many thousands of years ago, yes. What was that?
Yes, Saphira had a question about if the shadow colonies will be open again. 100%.
The shadow colonies. Oh yes, they're open now. But they're being very, very highly monitored. I didn't understand the question at first. I'm going shadow. Oh yes, we don't call them shadow colonies, but Girk Fitneer does. These are just the Erra 1, 2, and 3. But yes, they are open, but we are more susceptible to infiltration, if you will. So we have to be very, very highly monitored. And so our colonies are a little smaller. They may be exactly the same in their use and outlook and the way they are done. However, they are smaller and they need much more protection because Girk Fitneer is very protected. Erra is not as protected in some ways. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yes, more open. Yes.
Yes, it's more open.
Sabrina, please guide the question. How many questions do we have in the waiting line?
Yes. The other question was if Billy Meyer information about life in Erra, if it was correct.
For that generation, yes, life moves very quickly. He had how do I say this? What is that word? A a perception of the planet, and his perception from a human standpoint, yes, and it was given to him by someone else as well. But as he perceived it and wrote it down, it was accurate. It has changed somewhat since then.
Okay, so the culture and government, marriage, that kind of thing, that's different now?
Not all of that, but some of it. I mean, we go through phases of religious cycles that are very long. Aaron has religious cycles, and when you're in one cycle, his perception is from one cycle of the 7 cycles of Aaron religions and beliefs. So that cycle was dealt with exactly like that. However, now they're in a different cycle altogether. So some things would change. Marriage and things of that nature would not change, but some of the ways they deal with some things would change. Yes. Does that answer your question?
Yes. And in terms of leadership,
yes.
What could Earth learn from you?
They could learn that greed and power and all those things that cause corruption are not necessary. They can work as a unit, as groups of connected people to bring your society to an evenness that they do not have, a oneness that is not there. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
The next question was from Laura.
Yes.
And she's asking, please would you ask Kenjin the reason for the experience he brought to me?
Well, that's sort of personal, but it was an understanding between us. That's all. I wanted to make sure that you understood how I was in many ways. Does that make sense to her?
She's not.
Oh, yeah. I see. That is all right. I will speak to her on my own.
Okay. Okay. I guess that's...
It is a personal thing, so...
Okay. In terms of when the changes occur in your planet, is there a way you can see we can implement changes without having chaos? Like, what kinds of things do you recommend would help us?
There is ways to make it less, but with the way that your governments are set up, no one wants to back down. No one wants to be removed. No one wants less. I do not see a way to do that without ruffling the feathers of many, as he would say. I don't quite... Oh, feathers, I understand. Yes, it would cause much disturbance to remove them because they would not be happy. And they have many people under them that are with them. Do you understand?
Yes.
That would also have to be removed. In order to even things out, do you realize how huge some of these structures are? They're 50 layers, 60 layers. To remove 60 layers of government, or even more, would cause havoc. So we have to do it a little at a time, and that will take a while. But there is something coming that will cause it to have to change. So.
Okay, so is that referring to what Elle had said?
Yes.
And wouldn't that cause also somewhat of a chaotic reaction?
It would. but a necessary one, and there's ways for us to temper it. And we are working on that now. But it must be done. It is the only way, because the change has to come swiftly. It can't come over 800 years.
How devastating is it going to be?
Not as devastating as we once thought, but devastating enough that we will have to protect some. I say we, because I connect myself to Girk Fitneer and 𝗪 and all the other places that believe that this is the solution. I connect myself with that. 𝗪 will be the person, the collective, the thought process that will actually be in charge of that.
Can you give us a time frame of how soon?
2027. Still, because of the numerology of it, it brings the greatest amount of hope to it. You see, we believe in the numerology of it because it does help temper the outcome. And 2027 is 2 plus 2 plus 7, which is 11, which is 2 ones, which is 2 beginnings. We separate the ones, and instead of making it a 2, we'll make it 2 beginnings, and it will be that. It will be 2 beginnings. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Now, it seems though that's happening. I don't know if by design, but it seems like that's happening slowly.
Yes, it is, and that is the way it should be done. But there will, in a sense, it's being prepared. But the actual collapse of the economy will be sudden.
Okay.
Because it's very, very, like I said, multi-layered, and you cannot deal with it on a yearly basis. Sure, there is some preparation, and the preparation is good, but and it's helping, and people will actually have much more preparation by the time 2027 comes. There's still some time. There's much time left. So many things will happen, but you will see the ups and the downs, and they will make sense to the coming collapse.
So,
if there is another way that we can find, we will find it, and we are looking for that always.
Okay. Yeah.
I sense that you were going, oh, is that the only way? Well, at the moment, yes, but maybe not if something happens, there are a few things that could happen that would change that scenario completely. And I cannot tell you what they are because it is not permitted. However, it would have some involvement with Girk Fitneer, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because that it's, I mean, I think everybody has concerns with that.
Oh yes, you will be saved. There will be those that are enlightened and moving forward in their ascension will have many clues and thought and many opportunities to move out of the way.
Okay.
That we have assured. We have assured everyone.
Pegasus would like to know if you are welcoming any Earth humans yet, and how would you greet him, because he would like to visit your planet one day.
He's been to the shadow colonies, as you call them. We call them Erra Colony 1, 2, and 3. He's been on the Erra Colony 1 a couple times, and we find him very fascinating, and he is welcome on our planet if he would like. We may bring him in his astral projection form, but if he comes to the planet, he will remember that. There's something about Erra, the energy there, that humans seem to remember. Every person that's ever visited Erra remembers it.
Okay, because I'm sure he will love that.
I know who he is. Yes.
Yes. So, anybody else have any questions?
Let's put it on our list to visit. All we have to do is
Hello,
ask.
Kenjin.
Oh,
It
there's
is a little more than that, but yes. But do ask, and the chances are good. Did you have another question out there?
Yes. I have a question. This is Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes.
Continue.
How are you?
Welcome, Sarah.
Love. Was I on Erra last night?
Sarah. Do you go by another name?
No. Just Sarah.
I do not think you were on Erra last night, but you were on maybe one of the Erran colonies. Let me check that.
Yes, please. Because it was quite strange.
Oh, yes.
To say the least.
You remember, yes. You were in the holographic room, that's why. You were on the colonies, and you went in and asked to see an alien terrain or something, or more than one, actually. And
yeah,
so,
I felt I was in many places.
yes, you were in more than one holographic view, and you were enjoying it so much. You enjoyed it a lot. You loved the fact that it was strange and unusual. You thought that was amazing. So, yes, you were in a holographic room, and you were being taught telepathy last night in the training.
Uh-huh. And I seem to remember something about cartoon animation entities being real.
Yes, there
and
is.
And the humans were in the same room.
There is a dimension that is down the line quite a bit, but you tapped into it, where the density is very light, and things are shaped like sort of cartoons, what you would call cartoons, but they are not cartoons, they are realistic. But it appears sort of cartoony, not really cartoony, but in a sort of cartoon way, because things are done in that. I believe that your cartoon ideas probably touched that dimension, and that was how they were born. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Sarah?
I'm here. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it.
Yes, so they're because the colors are very bright and vivid, and the figures are yes, I understand where you could see cartoony.
Okay.
Giddy.
Very good.
I'll pass the mic. Thank you so much. I love you.
I love you too.
Marga Prieto, was asking when will the visit to the Colony 1 resume for telepathy training? And did I go already?
Yes, you went once. And what was the first part of the question? I didn't quite get that.
When will the visit to Colony 1 resume for telepathy training?
Oh, yes. You were already there once. Yes, for telepathy training. One time. But there will be more. There will be more.
Okay.
I'm talking about our three little colonies. I do not know about Girk Fitneers. I don't know if... I do not have the information about the Girk Fitneer colonies, but I do have the information about the Erran colonies. Do you understand that? I am not at access with that right now. So if you're asking about the Erran colonies, yes, you've been there once. And yes, you did telepathy training.
Okay. Can I ask? I had the Pleiadian DNA for a long time. However, I never felt them around me, and I still don't. Is there a reason for that?
Well, you have other stronger DNAs that work with you. However, you do feel the Pleiadian, you're just not aware of it, because it just feels the same as what you were, and what you was very Pleiadian before that. So Your mind is actually a little clearer at this time due to some Pleiadian DNA. Your mind has cleared up within the last couple weeks. Do you feel that?
I feel that I can bounce back faster. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. That's what I'm speaking of. That is a clarity of mind when you're able to bounce back faster. Yes, I understand what you're going through, and that's fine. But you will become very clear-minded eventually. You will be able to stay in that. You will not bounce back. Let's put it that way as often. It won't.
Now, I know I have a counterpart that is Pleiadian, Lilia.
Yes, Leah.
And I would like to speak with her, or channel her. Is there something you can give me for me to communicate with her?
Actually, it has to be up to Leah to do that. Hold on, and I will tell her, and I will find out if she's even tried to do that yet or not, because that would be up to her to do that. I would not order her to do that. But if it is her wish and will, she will definitely come to you. Let me speak to her for one moment. She will make arrangements with you.
Okay, thank you.
When she is ready. The time is not yet, but she will definitely like to come to you. There are some things that are happening in your life that you have to get through right now before she comes into that, because her coming into the situation now where you are now will just make things more confusing. It's just not right now.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So she is going to wait for 2 or 3 months. On your 2 or 3 months your time. Yes.
Armistice had a question. Let's see. When I was young, I saw a UFO outside my house. Bright light, close by and flying around erratically for like 40 minutes. I tried to record it, but nothing showed up in the playback later. Yes. I called my mom and sister, but they were very interesting, even after looking at it. I went back inside and thought on that.
They were uninterested?
Yeah, her family didn't seem to be interested.
Yes. Well, the reason is that person was seeing all the different dimensions that were involved in that sighting, where the other part of the family was not witnessing the different dimensional shifts. You were witnessing the dimensional shifts within the craft itself, because it was an interdimensional craft. So, and to remain in sight, it has to shift dimensions to be seen. Does that make sense to you? So, because of your electromagnetic field, the dimensions have to shift quickly and move, and it has to move in a certain pattern for you to be able to continually see it. And so they were constantly moving their dimension so you could witness it. And the craft was an Arcturian craft. They're one of the few that can do that.
Oh, okay. Gabriel asked if he feels that he's been very busy during his dream time.
Yes.
And tired lately, and would like to know what has he been doing.
One moment. I will check with Tikkur. It is a problem with the orb. His orb has not been replaced. They are making another orb especially for him, but it is not finished yet. But the one that he has is faulty, and so therefore they've been working on it to make it a little more effective. However, this does deprive him of some sleep because they've been working with. It is part of his. It's attached to his consciousness, but yet it is still not the full consciousness, and so yes, he might be a little tired. But that will end very soon because the new orb will be coming. And when the new orb comes, the old one will be gone.
Okay, thank you. That's it from everybody.
Oh, hello?
Yes?
I have questions. This is Sarah. I have questions for 𝗪𝗘𝗕𝗓𝗔𝗔.
Continue.
𝗪𝗘 would like to know what would our role be when I think she said the collapse comes?
Yes. Your role will be to calm the earth. Your role will be to connect the earth back together again in many facets. You are to bring peace and understanding after the collapse. You are to calm those that have been stricken with the catastrophe, that were not enlightened. But you will bring them in with your unconditional love. You will bring them in with your light of understanding and love them unconditionally until they are calm. And then you will tell them why it must have, teach them what has happened, because you will have the wisdom of knowing how to teach them what has happened and what to do next, and how things are going to be rebuilt, and how things are going to happen so that the earth will move on.
The second part to her question was, what will our role be in regards to nations?
That is your... Nations will somewhat maintain their identities in some ways, but there will be a mesh, especially in the European nations. There will be a time when they just mesh out and become just Europe. Whereas the United States will just become this. Some of the states will combine, and there won't be 50 anymore. There'll be more like 30, and there'll be and places like Central America will just there. It just will be Central America. Do you understand? The identities will come together. They will have to, in some ways, come together, and in time, the earth will be as one name and one idea and one consciousness in some ways.
Wow.
But that is very far down in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been seen by observing other planets in the same state that yours is in right now.
Yes. Thank you for that.
Oh, sorry, Sarah. There was another question there for the same thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Is the mission of the Starseeds in general the same?
Yes.
Okay.
The Starseeds are here to help you ascend, to give you the wisdom, understanding, and light that you need, and they will be the ones that will be tortured in the sense that not everyone will understand their purity. They will not be trusted because they're too pure, and people will see them as suspicious. However, they will get over that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Your culture is not trusting, and if they see someone that is very, very pure, then there must be something wrong with them. So that is the best way to explain it. Yes, but the Starseeds will be that pureness that is coming. Do you understand that? Did that answer that question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Good.
Yes, thank you. Sean sends his love to you, Kenjin.
Ah, Sean, you are well known.
And
the reason why you are well known, Sean, is because of your innocence and inner beauty. Very, very... Many species are around you because of that. Go ahead.
Yes, the question for Pegasus. He would like to revisit Erra so he can remember. And he would like to know, he would like for you to know that he is open to being in a relationship with an Erran.
Pegasus is open for any relationship with aliens.
I know.
He would be with a Lyran, he would be with a Pleiadian or an Erran. He would be with anyone who would have him, actually, at this point, because he is interested in that experience.
Yes, he is.
That is not a bad thing. That is not. It is not a bad thing, and it is. I do not mean to make light of that. That is not a bad thing. I believe his first encounter will be with a Lyran, however.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. He is one of the few compatible Unimans with Galactic Seed.
Would you like to explain that a little further?
He is one of the few humans that could actually procreate with a galactic being in the natural sense. Not like hybridization, but like actual connection.
Very good. Thank you so much. I'm passing the mic.
Yes. I
This
don't have much time left, so please be.
Okay, just one last question, maybe from Sean. Can you give us any insight into the Fendorians? He's very fascinated by them. And where is their planet, or what is it called?
Well, I don't know the name of their planet because it keeps changing. But the Fendorians have several looks. One of their looks is a plaster white face. It looks like a human face with very dark eyes, but it looks like it has the texture of sort of a plaster. And then they have other looks that are darker and more, but they're actually not human looking in some of their species, because on Fendoria a couple different species evolved at the same time, and so they're a multi-species planet. But they're very high because they learned early to get along, and with the very different thought patterns with the different species, they rose very quickly. So they rose through their evolutions very quickly because they understood more than one species. Like you are the closest to maybe dolphins in intelligence, or maybe your gorillas or monkeys or things of that nature, but you are not at the same level with them. Whereas on Fendoria, there are two species that are very similar in their ascension, and they hook together, and because they were two different cultures all together, and they meshed together, it caused them to raise quickly and ascend faster than what you can as a single species. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes. It's very interesting.
Yes.
Man and woman, I guess.
Yes, yes. Oh, well, in some ways. Not exactly. But, yes. Man and woman are much more similar than these two.
How about Jews and Christians?
Oh, that's better. Yes. Okay. All right, I must go.
Oh, I have a personal question. I have a lot of experience in dreams, and but I have very few experiences in physical mind. I have never seen a UFO. I would like to invite a positive experience, seeing a UFO in the sky, or an alien in my room, or a physical sensation of somebody entering my body and speaking, so I can hear with my physical mind without leaving this world.
You seem very ready, but you're not. You seem very ready to experience that, but it will come. It will come.
Thank you.
It's just that there are things that are going on with you that they actually showed you a UFO, but you didn't see it. Interesting. That's what I was told by Dekur. But you will see it. You will see it. You will see it. That proof will be coming to you. I must go now.
Thank you.
Your visit was wonderful. You brought us so much knowledge and energy and understanding.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed being here. It's been a while. I know, but I know that I've been with Nick, but he's not been with a lot of people. So, but I have visited Nick. That's the last time I was here was with Nick. But I can't hear you. Oh, is someone speaking to me? All right, I have to go now. So I will talk to you sometime in the future.
Come often.
Thank you
Well,
very much.
you say that to everyone. But
What are the gas prices up there?
gas? Oh, we don't have gas. We have gas, but it's not used in the same way. It is actually something that's become edible. Oh, yes. We use it for our own fuel.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you so much.
Have a great, wonderful time of existence here on your Earth, and I will see you in the future sometime.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Love you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Oh, hello.
Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Welcome back.
That tastes good.
Warm. Very warm in here.
Was it warm?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm.
Some entities bring heat.
A little too warm.
It was warm.
Some entities bring heat. They are saying that it was really warm in here, and it's really wasn't really warm when we came in. So it's raining and cold and everything, but Kenjin brought a lot of heat. His heat was very evident here. Did you feel his heat radiating out?
I didn't feel it.
She was far enough away, she said.
Would you like some zucchini bread? Chocolate chips in the bottom.
Okay. What time is it? Wow.
We have another, we have tons of time.
Good.
Let's take a little break and channel in and just chat.
Okay. What do you want to chat about?
Sex.
Sex?
Okay, time for me to go.
I have a question, Jim.
Yes.
I have just one question.
Oh, I'm going to have some of that.
Human colony? Because I think.
Yes. Did everybody get a piece?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Zucchini bread.
Zucchini.
Zucchini bread with chocolate chips.
What are you going to say about sex, Max?
Oh, discuss
Well, Jim,
with,
is it a good day
What
to
would be the
travel? Because
physical?
I'm thinking of going tonight to a party after work, but it's like I don't like going far.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not driving, but I
Oh.
don't like. It's near like Virgin.
Oh, that's not that far. Yeah.
Before midday. Is it a good night to drive? You think? Not drive, but ride.
Travel.
Travel.
I'll ask them.
Hey, you're not sharing with us.
I know.
Oh, they know what you're doing.
Our mouths are full. But anyway, any questions out there?
How's the bread? They want to know.
Good.
This is Francine, and before I go,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say thank everybody out there in the community because you're being a newcomer. I mean, as a medium, I've been around for years, but oh my, Jim.
I just dropped it straight up and down.
But as a newcomer to the human colony, I'll turn this way. Your questions always, it's an education for me. And I do appreciate your sharing So I thank you for that, and I'll see you soon. So everyone take care.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Much love.
It was nice.
I dropped it straight up and down and it splashed straight up.
Hey, yeah, nothing happened. You know?
Bye-bye.
It landed right and on its face. Standing up still. Would you give me some more water?
Yes.
Thank you.
So your answer is, as far as travel, do you see travel?
I don't see a problem.
Okay.
I don't feel any.
I get nervous. I get nervous.
I don't feel any
night driving. I mean, yeah. If it was started pouring or whatever, but.
Yeah. I don't feel any. Just drive safely, and you're fine.
Well, I won't.
You know, and
I'll
I
be
will
riding.
send you traveling mercies. So.
Thank you.
No problem.
My other question was, do they, you know, since it's the day after Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel any other, like, do you feel any vibration?
Yes, the vibration today is exceptionally high.
Yeah, it's like high.
It's very high.
Because it wasn't high yesterday. It was just.
But it was, as the day wore on, it got higher and
yeah,
higher.
when it stopped raining, the kids actually came out later.
But
I noticed because I was visiting.
The vibration here is really high today.
Mhm.
Yesterday it just kept rising and it's still rising, I feel like.
Wow.
It's still, I feel very, very, very.
Yeah, it is right. It's
charged.
better today than
I
yesterday.
feel very charged.
I think people
And you
were,
feel
like,
charged too, don't you?
I feel happy. So Roxy, how are you? Are you there? All right, Roxy is not here.
No, I'm here.
Oh yeah, Roxy. So the sex and conception. Sex and conception. That's I'm just announcing the topic. Well, I want to give Jim a break and let him breathe a little bit, and I wanted you to speak on the metaphysics of sex. You are very qualified for that, I would say. So the question is, yeah, the duality, male female, is sort of biologically very sort of simplistic, very simplistic. We need two sexes to mix the genes and make the evolution. I mean, that's the main reason, biological. But what is the metaphysics behind it? What is the metaphysics behind the conception and bringing up a baby? And what is the metaphysics about the sexual love, which is not making the babies? How about?
Sure. There's a lot on sex in and of itself, and since it's been, let's say, so conditioned through paradigms and religious backgrounds, and we'll call it. I'm going to go right into a channeling, so stand by. So you can call it religion, you can call it marriage, you can call it that. Truly, humans, we are not monogamous creatures. We have never been, never will be, never have been. The idea behind that was enslavement in and of itself. Now, listen very closely now, entities. The idea truly to be in love with someone is absolutely, let's say, beneficial. To share that unconditional love with that, to being in love. However, you can still have sex outside of love, because sex in and of itself is just an experience of a vibrational high that takes you to another level of yourself. In other words, every time you have a climax or a full body orgasm, and it's done without inhibitions, it's of course more richer. If it's done without guilt, it's of course more richer. And when you do it with those that you love, that are passion, that is embraced in the richness of the moment, that ultimate body, full body orgasm, if you will, is that of the closest relationship you have to your natural vibratory state. That's why we talk about sex, to have it, because it takes you home. You remember, you recognize yourself in what your constant state of being is and all that is. And of course, it's more than that, but down here in the conditioning, in the paradigm you've chosen, that is your vibrational state of understanding of going home, if you will. Now, back to the idea of sex. Everyone here has had sex just to have sex. That's okay. It is only your beliefs that causes guilt, that as soon as you have it, there must be some connection of obligation to continue that relationship, when truly it's just an experience. Why, let's say, have a cup of coffee? You had a cup of coffee for experience. Are you obligated to have more cups of coffee? No, you had a cup of coffee. Equate it the same because it is. It is only your belief system that says, oh, since I had sex, there must be a connection, so I must further it. No, sometimes it's just frickin' sex. Have it because you understand then, listen now, yourself. And when you understand yourself and your appetites of that experience, of your, let's say, oh, 𝗪𝗧𝗡𝗧𝗡𝗧𝗧, your fetishes, then those are not, let's say, out of bounds anymore because you're experiencing and seeking them and understanding them. Then you truly find out parts of you that you understand that you don't like in your appetites for sex, so to speak. And then you shift and experience through sex, and then when you are with that one that you absolutely love, you are honest. And that's the problem. Because 90% of you aren't honest. Because here's what happens in a relationship with sex. If that is the one that you feel, that idea, that you feel that is, let's say, vibrationally the one you're going to be with, and we're talking a lot of asleep people here, not so much in the awake because that is becoming, let's say, less of a commitment. So now, we'll go back to that. Then you create that idea of that perfect love, and then once you experience that sexual idea, then you don't want to, let's say, fuck it up. So when you are with that relationship, you stop being honest with what you're purging out of you, urging to experience. Because you, in the past, have, let's say, conditioned yourself on sexuality. And then you want to release yourself to the one you love, but you're afraid. Because then you would say, oh, if I tell him that I like this type of, let's say, bondage, or I have a foot fetish, or I would like to have a third partner join in, then that might screw up the relationship and I'll lose what I have, which only exposes you to your own lack, that you don't need them to fulfill your own love. So anyway, sex has a lot of many, infinite number of layers of, let's say, clarity, contemplation, comprehension, revelation, and then, of course, revolution of the soul. And in that idea, we suggest, and this all started many years ago with the Hathor connections, because they are the one that first spoke of sex vibrationally being the climactic self of being yourself in all that is. So the idea is to have sex. And if you attach a meaning to it, that is your own conditioning, exposing yourself. Now, once again, you can, of course, be in love in that, let's say, unum of one. It's not two, it becomes one. And in that, you can have, let's say, many experiences. And a lot of people that fall in true love no longer seek the outside idea of sex. But without understanding who you are or not with the modality of sex, you cannot share yourself fully with that of another. And sometimes, actually, you can if you find that perfect synchronistic moment. But the idea behind it is experience. Everyone cloaks it with some kind of dogma, and then it keeps you inhibited. Now, let me ask you a question, entities of ascension. Think about this. I bet you, oh yeah, I most certainly would bet you, if you didn't have so many paradigms about sex, how many rapes would not occur? How many places of sexual, let's say, discretions, of, let's say, iniquities, things that are bad about your sexual urges. If you didn't have any limitations on sex, how many things would not be of that course, of that nature, of indiscretion upon another with sexual, let's say, assaults? Why? Because there's no urging there, and that's their only modality that they see to let that out. And you guys get mad at for, like, your sexual predators, of course, but that in and of itself is experience. And remember, entities, without the predator, there is no prey. Without the prey, there is no predator. So understand that everyone is choosing that. And of course, if you say that's not true, then you are conditioning what you are. Expression, because you're finding out what you are not through that validity. However, if you would, let's say, okay, here, I'll give you an idea. You have a $4 billion porn business. Who's watching if it's not you or your neighbor or your friend? That no one is claiming I'm watching porn. But if that in the United States, because you're trying to fulfill your ways of getting it out without, let's say, interacting with another to express that of sex. But then, again, this is working it out. So we're here to let you know in that fashion, sex is so beneficial to you because it causes the results, if you want to use that limitation of cause and effect. The experience is the overall circumference, of course, but the idea behind it is that of experience of what you prefer about your body to discover yourself in that idea of climactic understanding, in that vibrational sense. Listen, when you are in climax, nobody's home. There's not one thought, there's not one inhibition, there's not one fear. The known of ego is truly gone. Your self is gone of the built construct of separation. You are in the moment of all that is. And then you look to repeat it through different fashions, but then here come the harboring dogmas of belief system that condition you into a singular line of conditioned idea of how to express it. But as the modality, as people are sharing themselves, not with a commitment or an obligation of that, then you understand that sex is just sex and passion, lovemaking is that of love. And they are two different vibratory states. However, they both in and of itself serve a purpose. Did this help anybody?
Yes, I do have a question, though. I agree with you that sex is good, and you're right that we are not made to be monogamous beings. However, in this day and age, people make oaths to one another to stay...
Where did the oaths come from?
Yes, but if you break your oath, you can hurt someone else. How do you picture not breaking the oath and not hurting someone?
So let's ask you a question. If I and you are married and I want to break the oath because I am feeling that experience with another,
correct.
What is the true experience behind it? Why am I seeking? Because is it that because I'm urging myself to have sex and I want something more? Then I can be honest with you and share that with you.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with that, then we are understanding ourselves, aren't we?
Yes, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to bring pain to someone, or I wouldn't.
But let me ask you a question. Without that pain, do they understand that that mirror is showing them what they are believing should be correct?
Yes, I agree with you.
Unconditional love. Now, let's say, have an indiscretion with you. I take action and you are pain to me. So you see me as I hurt you. Yes? Understand that?
Yes.
Okay. But if you are unconditional love, then why wouldn't you allow me to express all that is?
That's true. I agree with you. I agree with you, but there are those that are not not rising. There are those that are not ascending that would not understand.
Wait a minute. Stop. I never see anyone not ascending. Oh, yes, most certainly. Everybody is ascending at some level or another through experience and the mirror reflecting back to them, once again, what they are or are not. So understand this. If they are in pain, allow them to be pain. Because without that experience, you diving in and saving them, then they don't get the understanding fully in the mirror of reflection. If you give them the love and allowance of that, then they get to explore the depths of themselves, to know themselves. And if it takes 100,000 years, so be it. If it takes 100,000 lifetimes, so be it. Why? Because everything is now, and there's no wasted time. It's all experience and an expansion of the individual perspective of light that you considered as yourself. And in that tiny modality of the belief system of the enslavement dogma of religion, saying that you need to only be with one till death do you part, in and of itself has caused, which is awesome, caused a huge amount of, let's say, divorces, people reflecting back to each other. We definitely dove into that modality of limitation to explore what we are or not. So it served a grand purpose. But however, now you know, a lot of you, you don't need to be in love, in bondage of a vow. How about in love and allow all that is. And whenever that vibration is done, you're done because it left your experience. And now if you have a lack in the mirror, like, why did they leave me? Then you are exposing to yourself your own love for yourself that you lack. Oh, yes. And then you shift and go about your nows. But if they leave your reality, have an indiscretion, and you love them for it because they're finding out about themselves, then you are doing the miracle. You are honoring them by allowing them to be all that is. Does this make sense?
Yes. And I agree with that. I was just throwing that out there to see what your answer would be.
There you go.
I wanted to bring the topic of middle sex. Like, there are obviously extremes, very masculine men, very feminine women, but a lot of people nowadays become somewhere in between, men which are very feminine and women which are very masculine. Yes. And I guess we have been incarnated so many times in different sexes that we kind of come to the golden middle, I would say.
Yes, it's the idea that truly is you are what you choose to be in the moment. And since now vibrationally within the collective of humanity represented here by this entity you know as Roxanne, you vibrationally are choosing whatever you want to be in the moment. At the beginning, let's say when in your 80s construct of time, you had that of the gay movement, men, homosexuality, if you will, as well as lesbian. You're labeling it to death, but you understand the idea. And then they said they had to be that. And that's fine because that brought everything else. But then they always considered themselves gay, 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 which actually truly is melding into whatever you are in the moment. That's why you can have sex with a man if you're a man in the moment, but you don't have to be gay just because you had sex with a man. You had an experience of self, of vibrationally attaching the feminine to that masculine idea as well as the feminine to the feminine idea. You are whatever you choose in the moment. How much freedom is that? You are what the hell, in that fashion, you want to be. So that's where you're going. You are the yin and the yang. It's only your choice to separate it. But without the modality of the two, you wouldn't understand what you are as the one. Booyah.
Booyah.
Got it. Thank you very much. Nicely said. I liked it.
There is a question about tantric sex. Is it better?
No.
For this?
There's no better or worse. It's just...
Yeah, there is no better or worse. No. Just if you want a quickie, you have a quickie. And if you're satisfied and your partner's satisfied with that, that's cool. What's happened is, in the last 200 years, sex was for having babies. Now, in the last 50 to 60, 70 years, we now have contraception, so sex is no longer regarded for having babies. So we can have fun with it, we can enjoy it, we can push it to its limits, and this is what's happening at the moment. We're seeing all these fetishes, you're seeing all these, let's say, wrongdoings with the paedophilia. It's just showing us what we like, what we don't like, and we can choose from there on in.
However, that is not what the question is asking. The question is Tantra really that power in terms of self-development and spiritual power, or just man-made creation, etc.?
Here, look
that's a different question.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a different question.
Is the Tantra really the power in terms of self-development? No, it was a modality to get you to understand that that overall encompassing experience is self-development, no matter how you choose it. But without the label of being higher idea of Tantra, then you would have not understand that you can now equate it to whatever sex, and you make your own Tantra. Make sense?
Sure. Yes.
It's a guide, and once it becomes understood, then you take it beyond itself. But it is not the limitation that will be repeated, because you are not repeaters. You are taking the modalities, the stepping stones, that of the, let's say, ascension ladder, and saying, oh, I'm going to experience this idea, but however, vibrationally, it will not connect with everybody, but they will have the vibration telepathically that they can use any modality that within the construct of Tantra that will go beyond themselves to experience the fullness of that of sex. So it was a tool, however, it is never the answer. Make sense?
Yes.
Booyah.
Booyah.
I just have a comment. I feel I always felt very jealous to women. I would love to breastfeed my kids, and I would love to give birth. I mean, that's what I'm missing in this life.
Oh yeah, I understand that completely. I'm right there with you. I mean, for me to have a baby, it would be, oh, and feel it in this life. And this is Roxy, of course. I don't know the answer to that. It's
Roxy.
It's wonderful, but Max, I'm right there with you.
I understand that too.
Roxy, the first one has actually been done, quite of recent. First human's been born in an artificial womb, or in a replacement womb.
I know. I read that. You're right. They actually, yeah, they did. I know. I know.
But there's so much emotion and spirit attached to that experience.
Oh, yeah. I mean, right now I'm crying, because it's just.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful to experience that, and I want that. And I'm sure I'm not a big delver into my past lives for some reason. I just haven't done that, but I'm sure I've experienced that, and I'm feeling that.
Of course you have.
And it's and it's just now that vibration, the feminine connection with me, and and I do a lot of male attributes still, of course, but that is my focus now. And wow, that would just be beautiful.
Yeah.
I wanted to share one more experience. So I have many kids, right? Every time in the past when I was conceiving a child and bringing them up, I had a false impression that it would be a copy of me. And after getting the fourth child, I just realized it's just, it never happens. It never happens. I see some of me in each of my children, but they're so different. I mean, even if genetically they would be my clones, they still would have a different soul. So, and whatever I teach them, it's not a straight mirror. It's always it's a prism. Whatever I send there becomes something else. It's the same. I see that's my seed there, but even culturally, it's my seed which is transformed. So I guess, for those of you who are facing getting children, don't get confused. It's making children is not making a copy of yourself. It is just creation of something absolutely new. That's all I wanted to say.
Beautiful.
Someone is coming.
Yes.
There has been some discussion. Oh, he's channeling.
Someone is coming through Jim.
Okay.
Old riser.
God. I'm going to have the tail removed.
Welcome, old man.
Yeah, the tail's got to go. That's all there is to it. I don't care what you say, the tail's got to go. I got to go. Oh, I heard you talking about sex. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Bum, 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 yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to say, yeah, in our culture, sex is very frequent and actually, a lot of times it's just like, hey, want to have sex? Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. There's no guilt attached to it because what's the purpose of guilting yourself for having fun? It's like some people like to, drink alcohol to have fun, and some people like to have sex to have fun. Some people like to do puzzles or whatever your people do, play cards or whatever. It's just another form of fun. Sure, there's a time for we have our certain rituals for having children, of course. There's a certain time you come together just for that purpose. Yes, wow. But that is a different time. Sometimes we just play with each other and have fun. So it's all right. You know what I'm talking about? It's just hey, there it is. So you don't even have to finish. You just can start and go, oh well, I'm tired now, so you move on. So, yeah, but it is, nobody takes it offensively. It's like if somebody's yawning, you're not going to be really into it. So, anyhow, if you're watching your whatever TV show, so you're trying to have, that's not fun really. So you have to have two people that want to have fun. Don't you agree?
Of course.
I think it's on both of your parts. You have to, if you want to have sex, yeah. If you say to somebody you want to have sex and they say no, then you don't have sex, right?
That's important. Yes.
So it's like, oh no, not right now. Maybe later. I'll take what do they call it? Rain check. Yeah, take a rain check on that. So, but no, that doesn't really happen very often.
But you didn't have much experience of human sex, right? When you were a human, you weren't busy with that nonsense, right?
I had some, yeah. There was some of that, but it's different in the human form because I was not truly human. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same as what two humans would experience. I did not experience what humans experienced. I just want to make that clear. So
do reptilians really value humans for sex, or is it just more like food for reptilians than sex?
Oh, we don't eat you anymore. You're tough.
Right.
We never liked humans really for food. We like insects and the animals from our planet. They're a little bit more crunchy. I don't know what the word is, but they're better. They taste better to us. Humans just don't taste good.
There is a huge legend which everybody pays attention that reptilians feed on our energies, especially on porn and negative sex experiences.
Oh, on your energy. Now that's a different story. We do feed a little bit on your energy, not like ravenous feeding or anything, but we do. Whenever there's high energy around, we do take that in. Yes, whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It's good. It's energy for us. So I mean, whether you call it positive or negative energy, it's all the same to us.
What's his name? Writes about reptilian bloodlines in humanity which engage in different sexual distortions. What's his name? Robbie, you should know.
Distortions? What are you talking about? Distortions?
Negative sexual things, violence and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Rituals. They would have.
What's his name?
David
Icke.
Icke, yeah.
Yes,
what does this guy say?
He says reptilian bloodlines are specially designed and they convert the energy of whatever sex into reptilian blah blah. So reptilians get this energy.
Like
That's
George Bush is reptilian and.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's pretty well known.
Okay. So there's a lot of them.
But the thing is, when you bring it into human terms, when you bring all that to humanity, it doesn't make that much difference because humanity has their own thoughts about what is good and about what is pleasurable and stuff like that. So they bring their thought pattern into it. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, there are some that will go out there and beat people up or rape or whatever that stuff is. And that is definitely something from their maybe far reptilian past that has come through. But it's not the norm.
Like pedophilia, like where they do children and ritualistic killing of children.
What about that?
Is that something that's true?
It's not part of my culture.
Okay.
That's not part of my culture, no. There is cultures that is part of, but not mine.
Are you monogamous or polygamous?
I just told you, we just have sex with whoever we want. If we want to have sex with somebody, we ask them. Sometimes we don't ask, and that's our own fault if we don't do it. So, but it's not. There's no such thing as a one-on-one bond. That's just that's not natural.
And who is taking care of the offspring, of the babies? Is it female or male?
Oh, both. There are some males that prefer to take care of the offspring, and there's some females that prefer to take care of the offspring, and sometimes they do it together. It's just what you prefer, because your role in that scenario neither one might want to take care of the child, and so you have a third that will take care of it. Someone that does want it, because in your highest resonation, if you want to work and not take care of a child, then you get somebody who is really good with the child and have them take care of it. And then you come home and you can enjoy the child, and you don't feel like resentment toward the child because you're not taking care of it when you don't want to. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Do you have homosexuals?
Of course. Yeah.
Is homosexualism on Earth a reflection of your homosexual thing?
Every culture has homosexuality. Every culture has bisexuality. Every culture has what you call straight culture. Every culture has hermaphrodites. Every culture has everything that you have.
Thank you. That helps. Do we have questions from remote audience?
Yes. Hello, Old Riser.
Hello.
I was wondering, did you get my message about contacting you and physically meeting with you? This is Stephen.
Oh, Stephen. No, I didn't get that message. Where did you send that?
I sent it when I was in my garage, and I was attempting to make a connection with you. I'm really fascinated with my lineage, because I do have Alpha Centaurian, Reptilian, and Anubian, and I'm just trying to find out more information, and would love to meet with y'all. I know y'all with like the Under Armour and stuff being run and stuff.
Yeah, we're pretty well made. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we're well made and we're protected, and we're hey, we're not bad. I mean, we can get along with a lot of different species. Let's face it. There are a few species that we just can't connect with, but mostly we're pretty good. But yeah, I'd like to talk to you. Sure.
Okay. Yes, I do give consent, and would love to physically meet you and
when that time comes. Yeah, I have a few people that ask to meet me in person, and when that comes, that'll come after first. You know.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, Grindal, Sarah.
Hey, you know my name. Yeah, cool.
I have a question, of course, from Pegasus.
Yeah, Pegasus. Does he want to mate with a reptilian?
Yes, he wants to mate with a Zespotd.
Well, he'll get his chance someday. I think that he's going to be a little bit of a galactic slut. Because he wants to do it with everybody, for the experience. But I can't blame him, really. If he has that ability and capability, sure, why not? Go nuts.
Yes.
So yeah.
He wants to know. He wants a description of what your females are like, and
well, they'd have to open their armor for you. But other than that,
and he wants to know if the Zespotds are open to human procreation. Are they open to the idea?
I think that eventually they will be, but right now, you're too ugly. So, but you know what I mean. You're not our cup of tea. Let's face it. It's like we look at you. You have like little white teeth. Oh my God, nothing like a turn off than little white teeth. I tell you that. And little eyes. Yeah, it's like I need a magnifying glass to look at you. Yeah, you got that little stuff. We're a little bigger. you're too little. We'd probably ruin you. So we're a little rough sometimes.
How tall are you, Roger?
I'm about 6'8", 6'9". On your standards, maybe about 7, close to 7 feet. Not quite. But, we're a lot wider. It's not that we're really tall, but we're a lot wider. We have a lot more girth on our bodies. So, yeah, we'll rip you up.
I'd love to see a picture of you.
You'd love to see a family portrait. You lovely. Yeah. You'd love that, yeah. Yeah, 2 little reptilians. Oh, yes, okay, little bonnets on them. But anyway, yeah.
The reptilian that hangs around my apartment in the woods.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Will I ever get to meet him? I've seen him a couple times.
There's a possibility, but I can't promise.
Okay.
I don't really know him that well, but I know who he is. Yeah, he's pretty tall too. He's a pretty tall guy.
Yes.
From a distance, you can't really tell how tall he is. He's pretty tall.
I've seen him run. He runs pretty fast.
Yes, he runs fast. He's very tall. Yeah, well, reptilians are, in shape for the most part. We have a good diet of bugs and, worms and grubs and stuff like that. That's what you would call them. Very high in protein. So we're very, very energetic.
Anybody else there?
Yeah, God.
Hurry
up. This tail is killing me.
Hey, Riser, I was just wondering
about
draconian implant in the center of my skull right here. I was just wondering, they said it wasn't working correctly and it got kind of messed up. I just wonder, what's the purpose was it for to assist with my pineal gland? But if it's not working correctly, then I'm just curious as to
who put it in? The draconians put it in, or is it somebody else? Because sometimes other people have draconian things that they can put into you. Well, I just want to know who put it in, because it makes a difference.
I actually didn't get that information. They just told me what it was for and that it's not working correctly.
Well, they should remove it then. I'll send out a message.
Okay, I should do.
It'll really screw up your head.
Okay, thank you. And how you been? I mean, what you been up to like yesterday or today? What
I did some hunting yesterday, and I played a few games with my friends. Like we did some slicing games with I threw knives and stuff, but we don't have little knives like you do. We have big knives. Yeah. So we were throwing them at targets and stuff. It's fun.
Sweet.
I'm good at that. Yep. I'm good at hunting, and I'm good at games, and I'm pretty good at stuff. Yeah.
Which of the Earth games you would find fun?
Probably hunting.
How about American football?
Namby-pamby. Yeah. No football. They put on their little uniforms and I
have uniforms, right?
Well, yeah, but they're not like that. And they don't have big numbers on them. No, I watched that once and I was like bored.
How about competition of ancient knights in metal armor? Would it be more like Reptilian?
Yeah, that stuff's good. Yeah, well. Yeah.
Anybody else there?
Yeah. I gotta go. This is really hurting. I'm gonna have this tail removed before I come back. I swear to you. It's just hurting. Just painful.
Do you have one more? Because Pegasus has a continuing message.
Oh yeah, go ahead there, love puppy.
He says, well, he thinks you're majestic. And for the Zespotd female, he says, well, he can be on top. No one said he had to be on the bottom.
They like to be on the bottom, so it doesn't matter.
And he says there are many other positions he would like to try.
Where you have a book of them or something? We don't. We just.
He's a pioneer of open contact.
Exactly.
Yeah. She'll wreck you, baby. She'll wreck you. You won't want sex for a couple weeks after that. All right, I gotta go.
All right, thank you for your
All right, thank you so much. I love you.
All right, have fun, everybody. Yeah.
Have fun out there.
Yeah. What is that? This is I like the way it moves.
Sound receiver.
But anyway, it's nice. All right, have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Christ. Oh. There we go.
All right, now it's our exit sequence. I guess we have already many topics. Sabrina, would you like to give us an Arcturian blessing, and anyone who wants to join with the blessings, and we'll finish with that. Oh yes, I will start just so love. Sexual love is just one facet of love. Asexual love, love for children, love for parents, love for self, love for God, love for earth, love for progress, love for knowledge, love for experience, love for spirituality, love for ascension. All the different facets. It all can come to one. Unite with everything and breathe deeply and feel as it is all coming to you. Sabrina, you there? Any galactic languages around?
Yes, I'd like to go.
Very good.
Namaste.
Yes, we have reached out from the stars and we have connected with you, and we feel this connection strongly now. We are love, we are with you, and we grant you all the things that you wish to happen. And we are gathering with you to find a place to meet and to share our love for one another in the sense that all creatures should love. And we together will find a passage into the psychic world as well as the spiritual world together. Our thoughts beam out through a vibration of unconditional love that captures your imagination, and we will be the vision that you thought we would be. And though we may not look the same, but we do feel many of the things that you are feeling and are helping you along as you help us to understand ourselves.
Thank you.
Any more galactic languages around? Roxy?
Sabrina couldn't get back in show, so he asked me to do a blessing for y'all. So I'll bring in, I don't know who's coming in. We'll find out here in a second. Hang on. This would be 𝗪𝗘𝗧𝗡𝗧 from what you consider your Iona civilization. Koshno Goko Makakao Kuna. Shonkon Gumba Hikania Koshnarira. Gumba Hinotoko Yatnaya Tokoshnana. Hini Okoshnoma. Shombori kaniyato kokushani akakana yakonishnikiniyato hoyatanaina. Yeah. In translation, this will be Osifius, myself. It is the apparency of humanity being veiled from the unum of one. You consider yourselves two, that of from awareness of self in separation, and self of being, no more than the self of separation. It would be our blessing to you that you unite in unum and no longer choose, prefer, validate, feel the separation of the ego, that of separation, and the separation from the ego to the self of you. Understand that it is always one, and will give you this idea. You are observing that of the observed. The observed is that of separation. The observing is the higher self in your terms. So become one, and there is no longer the two. I bid you a good moment. Adone.
Lovely, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. What a wonderful session. I feel very much love for everyone today. The energy is very high here. The energy is very warm and loving, don't you think? It's just, it's like spiritual orgy time. So it's like the spirits are really connected and loving and good. So I love it. So have a wonderful day, everybody, and continue to have a great weekend.
And thanks for everybody who participated. Thanks for everybody who participated here physically, and thank you for those who listen in the future and who listen outside of this visible range, and for those who support our work, especially Slava and Danny. They are doing a lot of work in the backgrounds. Thank you to them, and all who participate on the website and protect the website from all the distractions. That's also a good work.
Thank all of you that help a lot, Sabrina and everyone. So, and I know Rawi, thank you very much, and Danny and Slava, and many of you are doing some great stuff. So, thank you.
And goodbye, everyone. You're all loved. Love yourself, and don't doubt that you're being loved.
Yes.
Yes,
Love
thank
you.
you so much. Love you. Love you.
Love, love, love.
Love, love.
Love, love.